Hi, my name is Christy Valentine, and I'm doing the Google module assignment. So the first question that it asks is, what were your thoughts when we went through Unit 1, or number 3 and number 4 on the Google Fundamental Training? So I wasn't aware of how much Google had to offer. I knew that there was such thing as a Google Drive and that there was such thing as Google Slides and a presentation, and I have a Gmail, but I wasn't aware how like the capability of Google and how all the things kind of mesh together to help and utilize more of the things that it offers. Everything kind of ties together and everything is kind of laid out right there for you. So I thought the fundamental training website was a great way for Google to put that out there and teach people who are interested in using it how to do that, because there's a lot of different types of technology resources where you kind of just have to figure it out on your own. So having tutorials and having examples of when and how to use this in the classroom, I think is a great tool to use, and knowing that everything kind of goes together. So for things like the Google Drive, so they talked about how every single different file can be converted to be on that Google Drive. So there's different types of technologies where you can put your things, but some things you can't save because it's a certain file that maybe isn't compatible with that certain technology. So with the Google Drive, it talks about how just by simply converting it, they give you the steps to do it. It's very simple, that you can have all your files laid out right there. So for example, if you have a bunch of different lesson plans or assignments that you want to give your students and you want to keep them all in one specific area, a Google Drive is a great place to do that because it will, organize and be a place where you can find things easily. I also think it's nice that you don't have to create as many copies. I know that the classroom is becoming much more technological and that we use, laptops or iPads or all types of different things in order to fulfill assignments or anything like that. So having your students go to their Google Drives and sending out assignments that way becomes a little bit less waste of paper by creating copy after copy of assignments. Another cool thing about the Google website is that you can create quizzes. They have templates online through Google Forms that allow you to create quizzes, and it allows you to do multiple choice, allows you to have drop-down menus, allows you students to create a response, like a summary response, and there's plenty of different templates for that, and I think that's a great resource to have as a teacher as well, because sometimes creating quizzes or assignments, lesson plans are some of the harder things that teachers have to do. So it kind of takes that step away. It helps us utilize our time and efforts into something that makes it a little simpler for teachers. So I think that's a great thing that we have. In unit number 4, it talks about how Google kind of brings the classroom together as a community. So for example, like with the Hangouts that it offers, it makes it easier on teachers and students whenever a student might have a question. It's hard for a teacher to either spend all their time answering questions that students have in the classroom or even on their emails, responding back. So when students can communicate with each other, ask questions, and respond through like not an email, but like a direct message type thing going on, I think that would make it easier for students because, a lot of times you might not need to specifically go to the teacher. You could ask your classmates or someone who might be a little bit more knowledgeable on that subject area. So I think the Hangouts are a really cool thing to have. I also think that with Gmail, the organization system of it being able to prioritize certain people, or make folders depending on the subject matter. So like in the unit, it talked about how there was a teacher who would get several emails about one student because the student needed extra support. So it was like a psychologist, the parents, just a bunch of different people talking about one specific student. So you can make a folder with those people in it for that student to make things more easy to find, or folders for certain subject areas. If your principal emails you about things that are really specific and important, then you can, prioritize emails from your principal. You just want to make sure you're seeing all those really important emails. So it has great organization systems in order to have that. Google Groups is kind of like the Hangouts where you can put students within a group so they can communicate with each other. It makes more compatible classroom. They can, talk to each other, figure things out with each other. I also think that Google is great because it helps people to work with each other. So, for example, if you are working on a lesson plan with your grade level, you can create the lesson plan and send it out to the other teachers in your grade level, and they can then either view it. You can make it so that they can comment on it, so like highlight a specific part of it and then comment on that section of it. Or you can even make it to where they can edit it, and you can do that with just the regular Google Doc, or you can, make spreadsheets or presentations, and it's really easy to share with others. And, basically the capabilities of the things that are offered are extremely easy to figure out through, tutorials, or it kind of just lays it out there for you. So they don't make it too difficult on you. So I think that's a great thing about all these things for teachers, because it helps utilize our time and energy into, focusing more on the education rather than the time it takes to do everything that might be easier through Google. So it talks about if the certification might make you more marketable. I'm not so sure it'll make you more marketable. I do think that having education on anything technological does put you at a higher standard when you know things about technology that you can list, and ways that you can, make the classroom more, paperless is a good thing that the classroom could be. Just utilizing your time and effort as a teacher in a better way, I think puts you a step ahead and at an advantage. So I'm not sure if it's something that schools who are hiring will necessarily be looking at, but I definitely think it would be something that would be great to have as a new hire, because you'll be at an advantage. You'll be able to get things done quickly and easier than maybe people who aren't so sure how to use it. So yeah, getting the educator certification is something I would definitely consider in the future, just because the compatibility and the effectiveness of how I think the Google website and everything that comes along with it would help with as a teacher and as like a classroom together. So yeah, it's definitely something I would think about. My experience working with the Google Slide is a pretty good one. It's just a lot like PowerPoint or Prezi. It's easy to use, not too difficult. It kind of lays everything out there for you. I went through and kind of made a slide about some of the different things that is offered through the training site and what it teaches us. And I like the templates that it had. I think providing templates for any type of presentation website is a great idea, because it kind of shows you a way to make your presentation look professional, and then it lays out how to, add another slide, how to change colors, how to change font, everything is pretty simple and nothing's too advanced or anything that, a normal person who uses technology couldn't figure out. So I really think Google Slide is a thing that I would utilize as a teacher. Spreadsheet is something that I've used before within my training. I work as a para presently, and we use spreadsheets sometimes, and I think, again, like being able to edit on it and then letting other professionals in the system or school see those edits or, adding to it, I think that's a great thing to utilize in a school system, because with other types of things, you have to download the file. You have to then copy the file and then make edits on your own and then send it back out. But with Google and the things that they offer, you can edit in real time. So that means people are seeing it as it's happening, and you don't have to make so many copies of the same exact file and sending it back out. So yeah, I think that's a great thing to have offered, and I think spreadsheets are great to use too, especially in an educational setting. I think that they might be a little bit better than Microsoft Word, just because the capabilities and how everything can go to your Google Drive, and it's easy to find. I just like how everything is offered and it's right there in front of you. So I think that's one of the things I maybe enjoy more about the Google accounts instead of Microsoft, is that your Google Drive is just, you can just put it there and then find it so easily. So all in all, I think that using the Google accounts and trainings, I think, would be definitely something I will consider as I become a new teacher, and everything that it offers is something that would be useful in the classroom. So yeah, thank you very much.